The Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business Podcast brings you a unique view of Mesa through its vibrant business community and the subjects that are important. The podcast is produced in the Mesa Chamber of Commerce Media Studio, sponsored by the University of Phoenix. Our podcast is hosted by Mesa Chamber of Commerce CEO Sally Harrison. Please enjoy this episode of the Mesa Chamber Inside Business Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sally Harrison, President and CEO of the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, and today in our podcast studio, I have Gina Van Luven from Prime IV.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad you're here. I enjoyed our lunch a couple of months ago, and I'm glad you're back in town so we can do this.
Yeah, I escaped the summer.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, so talk about what your background is.
I'm a board-certified health coach, so I've been in health coaching for 20 years, and got into that just through my own health journey. I had a lot of health issues, and food was a big part of that, but also IV therapy. And I left my corporate job and decided to be a health coach.
Nice.
And since then, I was scouted to be director of nutrition for a couple of different supplement companies, so I worked for them for a while, which was super fun. And then I decided to open a Prime IV.
Well, what made you decide to do that?
Well, because of having an experience of my own with IV therapy in a very clinical environment, like going to my doctor and using it as part of my healing, I really, really don't like needles. I won't pass out, but I mean, it's a pretty strong aversion, but it was important, so I would do it anyway. But when you're sitting there in a doctor's office or any type of clinical environment, it kind of adds insult to injury, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I live in Utah. That's my home, but I grew up here in Arizona. So I go back and forth. And I was in Utah getting a massage, and my therapist said, hey, you should check out this place 2 doors down, which is a Prime IV. And because of my fear of needles, I said, well, I'll go walk in and talk. And then I saw their massage chairs. They're like space chairs. They're zero gravity massage chairs. And I thought, okay, I could suck it up. I probably could use an IV at this point. And so I did that, and just the experience was completely different than anything I've experienced before, and it was so relaxing, and I really needed that relaxation. We go, especially women are just constantly doing for other people and not ourselves. And so having that hour to just decompress, because I couldn't go anywhere, so I might as well relax. The phone was put away, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. I had been thinking about an IV clinic, just with Utah and the high altitude and a lot of people coming in the winter and being sick. And so I thought, it'd be a really good idea. It just was a really wonderful experience. I was like, this is it.
Well, why do you think IV therapy is important?
Well, there are a couple of different things happening in our society today. One of them is food access. Well, we have access to food, but it's just very depleted unless you're growing your own food or you're buying local, which I highly encourage if you can buy local, which is hard here in Arizona with the heat.
Right.
But it comes from a long way away. It loses its nutrient content by the time it gets to your plate. They say anywhere from 50 to 75% nutrient depletion. It's pretty substantial.
Yeah.
And then not growing the food the way that it should be and rotating crops, so the soil is depleted. So you're just not getting what you need. And then the second piece is that as we age, we lose enzyme production, and enzymes are what help us break down our food.
Okay.
And so digestion becomes impaired. And in these days, even early on, young kids are having impaired digestion because of glyphosate, which is eating away at the stomach, and a number of other things. So the bottom line is we're not getting the nutrients that we need. And so IV therapy delivers them to your bloodstream. It's bypassing digestion. And so it's giving your body higher doses of nutrients to get your levels back up again where they need to be. And then from there, you can maintain them.
Okay. We'll talk about the misconceptions that some people might have of IV therapy.
I would say the number one is you only do it when you're sick.
Yeah.
And but if you look at prevention, like it's great. If you are not feeling well, which we're already getting people in for cold and flu season, we're already getting that happen, or we can go to them as well. But and that's very helpful. But if you can be more preventative, make sure your vitamin D levels are up. We do vitamin D injections, and getting your vitamin C on a regular basis, and all of the other nutrients that we can offer, just as from a maintenance standpoint. The idea is to not get sick to begin with.
Sure, that makes sense. So if somebody schedules an appointment to come in, what can one of your customers expect?
We have a very different experience than some of the other IV clinics. So when you come in, we offer a hot or a cool towel. Like obviously now it's hot, but some people still really love our hot towels. There's something about a hot towel that's just very luxurious. But we have usually cool towels in the summer that are like lavender or citrus scented. And every time you come in, you get a consultation just to make sure that nothing's changed. Is there anything new coming up? We have wellness water that we offer that's all natural, very lightly flavored and naturally sweetened water that we offer. When you're getting your IV, whether it's in our VIP room with the zero gravity massage chairs or in our non-VIP area, you can get an eye mask, a blanket. It's just a really comfortable, relaxing spa-like experience.
And how long does a session take? Does it vary?
It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how quickly you drip. If you've never done it before, it might take quite a bit longer than that. Just we got to figure out what gauge needle.
Sure.
Sometimes people like to get on their phones and then they bend their arm and that kinks the catheter. It doesn't. You can't tell. It's a catheter. It's not like there's a needle sticking in your arm.
Okay.
But I know that freaks me out. Even though I know I can bend my arm, I walk around with my arm straight. I won't bend my arm, even though you can technically. But it's like a hose. It can kink. So as long as people are with their arms extended, it should flow pretty quickly.
Okay. Yeah. So talk about how your company is different from other IV clinics.
Well, the experience that I explained is quite different. A lot of companies just have kind of like IKEA furniture or whatever that you're just sitting in with a bunch of other people. And we have recliners for our non-members or people who don't want to lay in the zero gravity massage chairs. But then we have a almost like nearly dark room that where our massage chairs are that people can lay in and relax. And we also have a private room as well. But just offering the towel and the water. And then this industry is very lightly regulated. So that's another maybe a misconception that, it's not regulated. It is regulated, but it's not as tightly regulated as it maybe should be.
Okay.
You can have a nurse start up a practice on her own and may not be following the right practices, but we operate under 797 compliance. So it's the same as a hospital. We get our nutrients from 503B pharmacies, same as a hospital. We have a little clean room it's just like a box that all of our IVs are created in this box, in this clean room environment. And the processes that we use to clean that box, like after we mix every bag, because we compound everything custom for that's another thing. Like if you go to a doctor, they're going to order a bag for you. Usually it's a Myers cocktail. They'll order a bag for you and then you have to come back. And so everything is custom compounded. Okay. But it's under very strict regulations because safety is number one. Sure. And we want to make sure that you're getting the highest quality nutrients and in the safest possible way.
Okay. Do you offer other products or services?
We do. We just recently launched hormone therapy. So
I was going to ask you if you have something specific for women.
Yes. Well, and it's for both men and women. Okay. So men typically will, as they age, they'll need testosterone replacement, and women as well. But we also have progesterone, DHEA, and an estriol. It's like estrogen, but it's not actually estrogen. It's what helps your body make it. And it's in organic jojoba oil, so it's a bioidentical component. It's created from wild yam. It is not synthetic. It is biologically identical to the hormones that we naturally make.
Nice.
And then we use them every day. So it mimics your body's natural cycle versus shots or pellets, which you get this big peak and then drop off. Your body doesn't work that way. So you want it every single day, but it's just an oil that you rub on your body. It's really nice. It feels good, and it's a really good delivery system for the hormones. So we don't need any synthetic carriers or anything like that a lot of compounding pharmacies use for creams.
All right.
And we also we offer dissolvable oral peptides. So we have peptide therapy like semaglutide, tirzepatide for weight loss, or Morlin, which is for like gaining muscle mass, but it's injectable, so it's prescription. Our dissolvable oral peptides, they just sit kind of like a Listerine strip that sits in your cheek, so you're getting that transdermal into your bloodstream, but you probably get a little bit orally as well, which is good because like BPC 157 is really good for healing. So if you've had surgery or you broke a bone or twisted an ankle or anything like that where your body needs to heal from something, BPC 157 is great for that. And we've got some for muscle building that's kind of similar to Sermorelin. We have one specifically for immune support, one for libido, one for glow, hair, skin, and nails. It helps your body produce collagen, but they're peptides. So it's something that your body is supposed to do. But again, as we age, we kind of stop doing what we're supposed to be doing.
So I assume that when you come, your staff will sit and kind of do a little bit of a checklist on what people might need, and it's all in one IV, or is it multiple IVs?
Yeah, with IVs, we help you decide what kind of, we call them cocktails, what kind of cocktail you want, what's going to be that. We do a full health history for you, and that's complimentary. And then decide what you need for that day versus what you need long term, because that might be a little bit different. And then would you benefit from hormone therapy or peptides? We talk about those things. But with the IVs or injections, IVs, they're usually in one bag, but we have what are called amplifiers, and it's like an additional 100 bag or a 250 bag that's added on. And so sometimes when I don't have enough time to do a full liter, that's the typical IV is a full liter. Like the other day I knew I wanted an amplifier and I didn't have time to do a full liter plus an amplifier. So it's like, go do a half bag, the half liter and then amplifier, and it went a lot quicker. But in the half liter, it's the same amount of nutrients, it's just less fluid. And so people who don't have time, like, 20-30 minutes and you can be out the door and still get the same amount of nutrients.
Well, very cool. That's a lot of information.
Yeah, we pack that all in.
That's great. So if somebody's interested, like, how can they learn more about the products and services that you guys offer?
You can go to primevhydration.com, so primevhydration.com. There's 13 locations in Arizona. If you're visiting and don't live in Arizona, there's locations, like I think over 200 at this point across the United States.
Wow, okay.
But 13 here. Mine is located on Power and McKellips in Northeast Mesa, so right off the 202. It's a quick journey from just about anywhere on the east side.
Great. Well, thank you for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I feel like I learned a lot. And maybe need an IV.
I think everybody needs an IV.
Yeah, for something, right? Yeah. Well, thank you. If there's something new that you want to talk about, let me know. Come on back.
Okay.
All right. Thank
me.
you. You bet.
This has been a Mesa Chamber of Commerce Inside Business podcast. You can find all podcast episodes at iTunes, Spotify, or your own favorite podcast website. You can also find them online at mesachamber.org. Content of this podcast is copyright the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, unless otherwise noted.